Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
We're about to talk about an amazing mystery, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And if you can answer it, please do.
Listen, the way I knew since, forever is that a show has to get ratings, prove itself, in order for it to get a second season. Not that before the show airs for the first time ever, we're weeks away or 2 weeks away, right? Nobody knows how it is. Nobody's seen it. And already the network is renewing a second season when not even the first episode is aired. This has never happened, as far as I know, in the history of anything. I think what it is, I cry bullshit. I think what it is that even if it sucks ass, they're giving you a
second one.
It's going to get a second season, so that way they could say, well, it made 2 seasons. And you can never say it sucked ass because they fucking bullshitted their way with another season.
And this is the one thing about streaming services that really works out. They really don't have to depend on ratings. If you think about it, you pay your X amount of bucks, you get your streaming service, and then if the show sucks, big deal. It doesn't matter if the ratings bomb.
Right.
They can still go, we got a successful show, and I'm sorry. If this is your flag show, me personally, it needs to be very good. And from what I've been hearing about it, it stinks.
Well, let's put it to you this way. Let's put it to it a way that we can explain it where everybody understands it. There's 17 billion people in this world, right? Let's just say. And, okay, let's say 1 million of that 17 billion sign up to CBS All Access because they've never had that before ever.
Yeah.
And it just started, right? So 1 million people sign up. Oh, it must be Star Trek Discovery because that's the only shit we have on there. So they're like, oh, renewed for second season. Little do they know that after a month that people watching that shit, that they're going to friggin' cancel their membership because they'll be like, wait a minute, where are the movies? Oh, yeah. Oh, The Good Wife, The Good Bro, The Good This, The Good That spinoff, and CBS stuff that's free already.
Yeah.
That I probably taped on a VHS or, watched on a DVR. Oh, you're making me pay for something that is free.
Yeah. So let's see.
Okay.
Watching something for free or paying for it. I wonder which one's going to be the bigger deal.
And you're forcing people to pay for Star Trek. And I got to tell you, I am so against this. Because let me tell you why. Let's say this did happen and take off and everything. That means that anything you liked ever, you would have to pay for each individual show that you would like. Because all these networks are like, oh, well, why don't we just put Walking Dead on a streaming service and let everybody pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why don't we put freaking Game of Thrones last season on a streaming service and you got to pay for it? Yeah. Why don't we do Ash on a... And then you would have a freaking... Mm-hmm. Then there would be a meltdown where people would lose it, and then things would crash and burn, and things would get canceled, and then streaming services would end.
Yeah.
So it's called greed and abuse. Now, as far as Star Trek goes, they should have gave something to fans because they didn't have it on TV for ever. And now they want to make you pay for it. They want you to make you pay for a meal that's not cooked, a meal that's not complete, a meal that you didn't even ask for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You asked for one thing and you got something completely different on your plate.
Well, you may like it because it's in that similar genre. You ordered a T-bone, we're going to give you this fillet.
People, if you took a poll,
it's from the steak family, though.
If you took a poll and you would ask Trekkies what they wanted, They would want a continuation after Voyager. Maybe a thing with Next Generation continuing. Maybe a thing with Voyager
Because
continuing.
we saw the whole thing with Enterprise. Even the guy who made that series, the very last episode, he was not that happy on how
He said he ruined it. He said he ruined it. And Scott Bakula wanted to punch him in the face for that. He didn't even know how it was edited. So, I'm going to tell you.
It proves that nobody wants to know what happened before Kirk. I'm sorry.
I don't want to hear that Sarek slept around. I don't believe that Spock had a sister here, a brother here, 27 sisters here. Listen, if you're going to do a show that stands on its own, don't connect it to Kirk. Don't connect it to Spock. Don't connect it to any single effing member of any Starfleet show that we've ever seen. No relative, no distant cousin, nothing. Completely on its own. And based on the fact that she is Spock's sister, I'm done with it. Done with it before it even begins. By the simple fact that I saw Spock or Kirk in the freaking preschool thing on a ship,
and Spock
or whatever
was
that
supposed
is.
to come way before Kirk anyway.
Spock is like an adult because he can last hundreds of years, and Kirk can't. And he was already on the friggin' Enterprise ship when Kirk was like still young. So that's so stupid. I just can't watch it.
It's an alternate universe.
It's definitely an alternate universe.
We can accept it's an alternate reality.
I don't care for it.
Let's try to keep in some behalf of the original reality instead of going.
Let's just be frank. They wanted to make Spock a woman, and then they couldn't because too many people flipped the F out. So now they're making her human, but yet she's Vulcan, but she doesn't have ears. She has human ears, but she's Vulcan. Makes no effing, or she was raised Vulcan. Makes no effing sense. I don't care about it. The Klingons do not look recognizable at all. No. They didn't want to pay the money. They didn't want to do whatever. This is a completely, in order for this timeline to continue, that means that the Enterprise is never going to come to be. It's never going to exist. This shit is going to be the big thing, Discovery, and everything is going to be based off. Can you imagine if this took off and if this actually was popular? The whole Prime universe would be erased. They wouldn't have anything to do with it anymore. They wouldn't talk about, it's an alternate reality. This shit sucks. The Orville looks so superior to this. It looks like every Star Trek fan's dream is the Orville to see that. There's even another show, the Galaxy Quest is coming on too. That's going to even be better than this shit. And you can't spend money on the uniforms. You can't spend money on the aliens. You can't have the Klingons look like effing Klingons from Next Generation.
If you don't want to do it 100% like them, at least give them some recognizability to the original ones.
It's horrible.
They look like you just slapped mud on their face, dimpled the forehead, go, they're Klingons.
They look like Nosferatu vampires, cross between the Cardassians of Deep Space Nine with some other alien race mixed together in a freaking
They had Romulans. Was it Nemesis or whatever?
Nemesis.
Those strange Nosferatu-style Romulans?
Yeah. I mean, this is a joke now. This is a joke. So I'm going to pass on Discovery. And I think a lot of people are. And this whole fantasy about season 2 is just a freaking fantasy. It's a thing that the company doesn't want to admit that they effed up. And they want to have save face by saying, we got canceled. Listen, 2 seasons. Look,
but like
it
I
got
said,
canceled by season 2, but
so they don't have to 100% rely on the.
They probably had a contract with the actors that it would be at least 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So that's why
they kept them on.
And they could back them out after that. Yeah. This ain't going to last. This ain't going to do well. I'm telling you right now, this is a joke. And the guy that with the idiot philosophy that interpreted Gene Roddenberry's vision wrong, that they can't mention God at all. That's freaking stupid and dumb and everything else. Okay, it's this philosophy that we have.
Look at every single first episode of Star Trek from the beginning. It had some inferences towards a god-like character.
Yep. So
And where did old Leonard Nimoy get this symbol from? Think about it.
yeah, please. So Discovery is a big disappointment for me right now, and I don't even know if I'm going to watch it. Probably not going to. I'm going to stay tuned for the Oracle. Definitely going to watch that.
Yep. And if you want to, folks, if you really want a good take, I know I beat this like a dead horse. If you really want a good take on Star Trek, it's called Star Trek Continues, and these guys they put out web-based things like every X number of months. They stay true to the original series, and the guy who plays Scotty, I think he's the son of
Yes, he
he's
is.
the son of the guy in the original. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they are just perfect.
Star Trek Continues is fantastic.
Yeah, continue. Yes, I can.
I'd rather have that on CBS than anything else. I also want to talk about one more topic on this quick everything show, and that being Inhumans.
Oh.
Now, this is gonna. I know. This is gonna be hysterical because, and this is the way I'm gonna break it down for you. The Inhumans was recently in IMAX, and it was projected that the Inhumans was going to do a minimum of $2 million, minimum, nothing lower than $2 million.
Make $2.
Okay, and I want to explain. They really thought it was going to do better, and this is how I'm going to explain it to you. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which was out 40. Wait. Which was out 40 years ago. Just keep in mind, a movie that was released 40 years ago beat Inhumans. That's one. And yes, Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a classic. The Dark Tower beat Inhumans. Halle Berry's Kidnap beat the Inhumans.
But did Howard the Duck beat Inhumans?
Birth of the Dragon, which I don't even know what the hell that is. I guess it's
I think it's the
Bruce Lee. That beat Inhumans. Cars 3, which I didn't even think was still in the theaters, beat Inhumans. Wonder Woman, Girl Trip, Nut Job, Emoji Movie. All this stuff beat Inhumans. Inhumans, it was just horrendous. Horrendous. That it did not do well at all. So, like, seriously.
They're going to come out and they're going to say, well, we released it at a poor time.
They had 3,817 theaters, and Close Encounters only had 1,959, and Close Encounters wrecked it. So Inhuman sucks.
We just poorly timed its release date on the IMAX.
Sucks.
You watch. That's what they'll say.
The first failure.
We didn't anticipate all these other. We didn't anticipate Close Encounters was going to come out this.
Yeah, a 40-year-old movie kick our ass. You know, hey, it's a classic, right? Of course, it would beat us. Yeah, okay. So,
an alien movie beats an Inhuman movie, which was inhumanly bad.
Yeah. So that's what's going on there. Also, Shia LaBeouf is not going to be.
Yep, I heard that.
He's not going to be in Indiana Jones because he cursed out Steven Spielberg and said something bad about Harrison Ford, and they're done. So that son doesn't exist. That was a while back. So he's done. And it's just going to be that's right. Just going to be Harrison Ford. Thank God for that. That's what happens. When you open your mouth and you start talking smack, you get fired. And that's exactly what happens.
And that's what Spielberg did. He just did it.
That's right. Don't disrespect Steven Spielberg ever.
No.
Ever.
You can make cracks about him.
No, you can't even make cracks about him because no way. But still, that's what happens. So tomorrow, well, actually, I have to make sure my DVR is set because American Horror Story Cult appears tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, right? Pretty sure it's tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So already that's quick. But I can't wait to see that. Showing off my Spider-Man.
That is awesome.
This was in some new supermarket. I don't even know the name. I've never heard of them before. They took over old Pathmark. Pathmark's out of business now.
Was it called Aldi's?
It's something Whole Food things.
Not Whole Foods?
No, it's not Whole Food, but it's something similar, but it's whatever. But anyway, they have these Avion dollar Spider-Man drinks, and it is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So
because because Whole Foods was bought out by Amazon.
Yeah, but this is not Whole Foods. This is like
I know.
This is like I can't even. They're trying to have the whole in the name, whole superior or whole super special foods or some crap. But it's not definitely not Whole Foods like that. No, I know what they are. Yeah, but whatever. And it was like, all right, this is the cool thing I bought. Other than that, there wasn't that much stuff there. But and that's our everything show for tonight. We already had one already with Chris. We have one with Scott, and now we're supposed to go to sleep, and I'm supposed to go to work tomorrow. So, on that note, take care. Bye for now.
Ciao.